Welcome, and thank you for joining us for this brief webinar featuring the local school plan, intent, and collaboration. My name is Kelsey Teeter, and I am the Secondary Special Education Program Consultant with the Iowa Department of Education. I am here today with my colleagues, Becky Lewers from Iowa Vocational Rehabilitation Services, Jamie Phipps from Iowa Department for the Blind, and Pam Wolber from Ask Resource Center. We are excited to provide you with an overview of the local school plan's intent and collaboration today. However, before we get started, I do just want to pause and take a moment to recognize the time, effort, and dedication of the task team members that work together to review and update the local school planning process. It was truly a collaborative interagency effort with stakeholders from across partner agencies represented in the process. We cannot thank you enough for taking the time to share your input and expertise.
So as we look at the intended audience and objectives of the local school plan, let's first talk about who this plan's for. Primarily, the audience includes students with disabilities who are in the process of transitioning from high school to adulthood. These are students who may benefit from additional support as they explore their post-secondary goals, whether that's entering the workforce, pursuing further education, or living more independently. But it's not just about the students. This plan also involves a team of supporters, vocational rehabilitation counselors, and team members, school staff, AEA, and community partners who work collaboratively to ensure students are aligned and it's meaningful. Parents and guardians also play a really vital role too, and they're key advocates and decision makers in this process. Local employers and workforce development agencies should be considered since they provide essential real-world opportunities like internships, job shadowing, and paid employment. Now, in terms of objectives, their first goal is to ensure that there is an understanding of the what and the why behind the local school plan. It's important to ensure the school-based transition services are closely aligned with all team members. That way, students don't experience gaps or duplicative supports. Next, the aim is to assist students to build essential work readiness skills like communication, responsibility, and time management, while also helping them to explore careers that match their strengths and interests. Another key objective is to provide access to supports like job coaching, soft skill development, and resume preparation so students are truly equipped for the world beyond high school, and also ensure that the contact and resources are available to all team members. Ultimately, everything the local school plan team does is centered on empowering students to advocate for themselves, make informed decisions, and pursue their goals with confidence. The long-term vision is to increase the number of students who successfully enter employment, enroll in post-secondary employment, or connect with adult services once they leave high school. So in short, this plan is not just about checking boxes, it's about building a bridge to a meaningful and successful adult life. So let's really talk about who this plan is for. Of course, at the center, it's for students with disabilities who are preparing to transition from high school into adult life. These students are navigating important decisions about work, education, and independence, and it's really designed to help support them through that process. School districts need a local school plan because it serves as a written working agreement that guides the delivery of transition services for students with disabilities. But they're not alone. Each school has its own unique needs, and the local school plan ensures those needs are identified and addressed. It clarifies the roles, responsibilities, and expectations of each partner agency, creating a shared understanding that supports collaboration. It's also important to recognize the critical role that parents and guardians play. They're not just observers, they're active participants in the planning process and vital supporters of student success. And finally, it's important to note that the local school plan team is also in place to engage with local employers and workforce development agencies. Their involvement is essential for offering real-world work experiences that give students a chance to apply what they've learned in a meaningful, hands-on way. Now let's look at the core objectives of this plan. First, the local school plan team wants to align what's happening in school with the services and goals that the student is connected to. That way, students experience a smooth, coordinated transition without gaps or delays. The plan promotes the use of data-based decision-making to coordinate efforts and ensure services are delivered efficiently and effectively. By doing so, it helps to prevent the duplication of services and ensures that resources are used widely.
So the key components of the LSP or the local school plan include team members, data review and analysis, communication and collaboration, service delivery, and resources. Within the team members, these will vary from district to district. The suggested team members are the VR staff, teachers, school counselors, AEA staff and administrators, district career and academic plan, team representation, school administrators, contracted program staff, community partners, businesses, and of course, parents and the students with disabilities. In the data review and analysis section, each entity will prepare and look at the data of those that they serve in that area and other data identified by the team prior to the meeting. This will be important to guide the conversation and create goals for the team. The team will discuss things such as the progress over the past year, what gaps they see that still exist, any challenges that they faced, barriers, and the team's shared priorities for the upcoming year. The communication and collaboration section will identify the process of things that will be discussed and developed for those things such as the building's check-in and safety procedure process for visitors, how to schedule workspaces and what the availability is for those workspaces within the building, what opportunities are available for individuals to facilitate individual, small group, or full classroom activities for the students, ensuring that there's adequate supervision, what are some cross-training opportunities, who and how it is determined when to invite partners providing transition-related services, how post-secondary expectations will be aligned across service provider plans, and knowing who oversees the 504 plan, as well as deciding how those students without IEPs can get connected, and of course, the referral process for each partner. In the service delivery section, the intent of this section is to really facilitate purposeful conversations that support the alignment of services for effective service delivery and not duplicating services. The LSP team should be familiar with any agreements that exist between partner agencies to support the decision-making in the LSP process. For example, at the end of the LSP, there is a list of statewide resources as well as local resources to help each LSP team. In addition, other resources that are available will be outlined in this section.
So I just wanted to reiterate or to kind of point out the focus of the between an IEP, an individual education plan, and the local school plan. So, or the individual plan, it could be IEP, it could be 504. Those are individual students and specific transition needs that the student has, where the local school plan is a systematic plan that meets those specific student needs. So how can students and families become involved? First thing, I guess, is knowing or understanding that student and family participation in the process is important and valuable. Students and families offer an additional level of expertise from their perspective with lived experience. As the very recipients that the LSP is intended to serve, their insight into service needs can help identify gaps the team may not have already identified or be aware of. And additionally, they can offer unique insight as to how the system is functioning on the receiving end of the service delivery. So next steps in getting involved is to ask for a copy of the local school plan from your school. The building principal or administrator, AEA representative, or assigned voc rehab counselor should be able to get you access to this plan. The team members involved can vary from school to school. After reviewing your local school plan, we would encourage you to ask for opportunities to provide input and feedback to the LSP team members. The names and emails of all the people on the team are included in the plan. You can also talk with the LSP team members about becoming involved as a team member in future meetings. The process for adding new team members on each LSP team may look a little bit different from school to school, but it's important to make sure that each LSP team has an adequate and balanced representation across partner agencies and stakeholders. Thank you.